What's up, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Rob. I like to play games, and welcome back to the Commander Corner. Today, we're going to be taking a look at a deck from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle set. This is a deck I've been working on for quite a while, trying to make it work, trying to make it feel good, and honestly, I think I finally got there. It's going to be based off of a subtype that was really popular in that set, which is going to be ninjas, and I hope that you all enjoy it. Let's dive right in and take a look at the deck. All right, so here we are. This is going to be the deck I am calling Ninja Rap. If you are a 90s kid like I am, you very much remember Vanilla Ice singing that song in the Turtles movies. And so in this one, we are basing our deck around Splinter, Radical Rap. He is well, his mana cost is Orzhov, but he's actually an Esper commander. He's one of anything and 2 black-white hybrid mana for a 2/4 legendary mutant rat ninja. And if an ability of a ninja creature you control triggers, that ability triggers an additional time. What makes him Esper is his other ability here. One of anything in a blue, target ninja can't be blocked this turn. So, what are we looking to do with this deck? Well, we want to attack with our ninjas. We want to get them in unblocked. And we want great enter the battlefield trigger abilities that we can multiply. We can hit it a lot of times here. So, the way we're going to kind of do that, let's start with the Evasion. These are going to be the creatures that we want to get early so that we can start doing our ninjutsu and sneak abilities, because that's really what this deck is based around. So we're going to start off, we've got Changeling Outcast, 1 black for a Changeling that can't be blocked. Dream Beavers, this came from the Turtle set itself, 1 mana, 1/1 flying, so that Evasion again, really great. This also has a cool ability where when this creature enters, each opponent loses 1 life, you gain 1 life and then get to scry, so it's a really nice card. This is probably one of the better ones we want to be hitting with our ninjutsu and sneaks. We've got Fairy Seer, it's a 1 blue, 1/1 flying creature with scry 2. Again, a great way for us to just incrementally help ourselves while returning it back to our hand, playing it again on the next turn, so we can keep ninjutsuing. We're also running Prehistoric Pet, 1 white for a 1/2. This creature can't be blocked by creatures with greater power. And then 1 of anything in a white, return another target creature you control to its owner's hand, activate only during your turn. This is a way for us to reuse our ninjutsu abilities by bouncing those ninjas back to our hands so that we can get their ETB effects once more. Signal Pest is a 1 mana 0/1, but it can't be blocked except by creatures with flying, but it has Battle Cry, which gives all of our attacking creatures +1/+0 as long as it's attacking, so another really cool. We swing out, everything, gets that buff, and then, we're going to bring the Signal Pest back to our hand and do something else. So great ability there. Slitherblade, 1 mana 1/2, can't be blocked, great for this style of deck. April O'Neil, again from the Turtle set, 1 of anything in a white for a 2/2. When it enters, scry 2, but she can't be blocked by creatures with power 3 or greater. And then Baleful Strix, Flying Death Touch, 2 mana 1/1. When it enters the battlefield, draw a card. Again, great thing for us to just keep bouncing back and forth, and keep us going. Diamir Infiltrator, 2 mana 1/3 that can't be blocked, but it also has the ability to transmute. So if there's a 2-drop that we want to grab, we can tutor for it using the Diamir Infiltrator. Really powerful in this. We're using the other Splinter, Hashimoto Yoshi, 1 of anything in a black for a 1/3, has Sneak, which is whenever you may cast a spell for a black, because that's a sneak cost. If you also return an unblocked attacker you control to hand during the declare blocker step, he enters tapped and attacking. He has Menace, which is great for that evasion, but also a universal anthem effect to give all of our other ninjas +1/+1. And then Tetsuko Umezawa Fugitive, 1 of anything and a blue for a 1/3 that gives creatures you control with power or toughness 1 or less can't be blocked. So these are going to be the ways that we're going to get our ninjutsu abilities and sneak abilities off consistently. We are also running a decent draw package here. Dowerport Mage, one of anything in a blue for a 1/3. Whenever one or more creatures you control leave the battlefield without dying, draw a card, and then you can pay one of anything in a blue to return target creature you control to its owner's hand. This is really helpful in the fact that our ninjas are going to be constantly bouncing things back to our hand, so every time we ninjutsu or sneak, we're going to get to draw a card. Great for us in what we're doing there. Moon Circuit Hacker. This is one of anything in blue, but it has ninjutsu for a blue. You can return an unblocked attacker you control to your hand and then put this onto the battlefield. When it deals combat damage to a player, you may draw a card. If you do, discard a card unless it entered the battlefield this turn. So this is a card we want to sneak. We want to use ninjutsu. We want to get it in there for that card draw. We're also going to be running Waterbender Ascension from the Avatar set. One of anything in a blue, whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, put a quest counter on this enchantment. Then if it has 4 or more quest counters on it, draw a card. Again, a lot of the stuff we're trying to do is going to be for unblocked damage. We're going to be hitting, we're going to be getting those little chip damages in throughout the entire game. This is going to allow us to get this up to 4 counters very quickly, as well as then drawing cards. Nashi, Moon Sage's Scion, one of anything double black for a 3/2. Ninjutsu is 3 of anything in a black. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, you exile the top card of each player's library. Until end of turn, you may play one of those cards. If you cast a spell this way, pay life equal to its mana value rather than paying its mana cost. This again allows us to not only cheat things off the top of our library, but it's for everyone, I believe. Yeah, each player's library. So with that, we can steal their big bombs. We can play something, really powerful from their deck if we happen to find one. We're also running Oroko Sakai, Shredder Rising, so this is Shredder before he becomes the Shredder. 2 of anything in a black for a 3/1, sneak, 1 of anything in a black, and whenever he deals combat damage to a player, you draw a card and lose a life. We're also running Ingenious Infiltrator, 4 mana, 2/3 with Ninjutsu, blue-black, and whenever a ninja you control deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. Again, we're playing a lot of ninjas, we're going to be getting in there. And then we are also running Kaito. Kaito is an interesting planeswalker. He's a 4 mana planeswalker with ninjutsu for 1 of anything blue-black. During your turn, as long as Kaito has 1 or more loyalty counters on him, he's a 3/4 ninja creature and has hexproof. So during our turn, he counts as a creature, which is great. His +1 ability is really going to be powerful for us, as it gives us an emblem to give all of our ninjas +1/+1. 0 is Surveil 2, then draw a card for each opponent who lost life this turn. And then his -2 is tap target creature, put 2 stun counters on it. Just an overall really great card for what we're trying to do. I feel thematically he would kind of be the poster child. I wish, honestly, Kaito could be a commander. It's kind of sad that he can't. There are some really good Planeswalker commanders. I think this Kaito would have been a really cool one. Let me know what you think in the comments on that. If you think Kaito would have been fun as an actual commander in this game. Speaking of which, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe. I'm plugging that early in this one because I really just want to get it out there. And you can also find me in the Jungle Games Discord. So let's keep going though. We are also running Ninja of the Deep Hours, 4 mana 2/2 with Ninjutsu, 1 of anything in a blue. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, you may draw a card. And then finally, Fallen Shinobi. This is a really, really cool card. It's seen a lot of legacy play and stuff in Eternal formats. So it's a 5 mana 5/4. Ninjutsu is 2 of anything blue and a black. And whenever it deals combat damage to a player, that player exiles the top 2 cards of their library. Till end of turn, you may play those cards without paying their mana cost. Again, stealing stuff from our opponents, getting their big, powerful cards from their deck to really help us with our game plan as well. Speaking of our game plan, we need to kind of be able to get in there for some lethal damage. We talked about different ways that we are pumping through the cards we've already seen, but there are a few other things that are going to help us with that. First and foremost is Leonardo, leader in blue for 1 white. He's a 2/1. Sneak is 3 of anything in 2 white. So this is the first one we're seeing where the sneak cost is actually more expensive, but that's because of what his sneak cost does. When he enters, if his sneak cost was paid, creatures you control get +2/+0 until end of turn. This is just going to be a massive way for us to just overpower our board and just swing in for a huge chunk of damage. And then 1 of anything in a white, he gains first strike until end of turn. We're also running Cathar's Crusade, which is a 5 mana enchantment. Whenever a creature you control enters, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. with us doing ninjutsus and sneaks throughout battle, this is going to allow us to pump our creatures during or before damage is even dealt. That's a huge thing. And then we are also running Virtue of Loyalty, another 5-mana enchantment. Beginning of your end step, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control, and then untap those creatures. This is going to allow us to swing out and then untap everything, so we have blockers for the next turn. The adventure side of this is... don't want to say it's irrelevant. It does make a 2/2 white knight creature token with vigilance. However, that's not why we're playing this. You definitely can use it for that, for like a cheap blocker, putting it on an adventure because it is an instant, but it isn't a huge thing that we are trying to do. We are also running the Anthem Ninja here, 2 of anything in a black, unblocked attacking ninjas you control have lifelink, just a way for us to restabilize. Let's take a look at our removal package. We've got 4 mass removal cards. Again, a lot of what we're going to be doing is bouncing creatures back and forth to our hand, so a lot of the times we may not have a whole lot of stuff in play. So we are running Dam, which is a 2 black, destroy target creature. A creature destroyed this way can't be regenerated, but you can overload it for 2 and 2 white, so Wrath of God, and that's exactly what it is. It turns into Wrath of God. We're also running Game Over, which is 3 of anything and 2 black. The spell costs 2 less if a player's life total is less than or equal to half their starting life total. Destroy all creatures. So if someone's at 20 life, we can pay 3 to basically blow up the board. Rise the Palisade, 5 mana, choose a creature type, return all creatures that aren't the chosen type to their owner's hands. Realistically, ninjas are not a very popular type amongst tables. You'll be very likely to not see a lot of ninjas out there, so this is basically a one-sided board wipe, as well as Kindred Dominance, 5 anything, double black, choose a creature type, destroy all creatures that aren't of the chosen type. We are running some more removal here. This stuff is more single target. Offer you can't refuse. Great card. Path to Exile, Swords to Plowshares, all pretty standard cards. Arcane Denial. We are running Mistblade Shinobi, another ninja that's going to act as a removal piece for us. 2 of anything in a blue for a 1/1 ninjutsu is 1 blue. When it deals combat damage to a player, return target creature that player controls to its owner's hand. So just a temple play allows us to bounce something back to their hand. Sink to the Stupor, this card is absolutely ridiculous, counts as a land as well for us, but return target spell or non-land permanent an opponent controls to its owner's hand. Absolutely ridiculous. I play this in every blue deck that I can find. I highly recommend you pick these up if you don't. We're also running Turncoat Kanochi. 2 of anything in a white for a 3/2. Sneak is 2 of anything white black. When this creature enters, choose target creature an opponent controls, exile that creature until this creature leaves the battlefield. If this creature's sneak cost was played, instead exile the chosen creature. So just out the gate, it's a 3 mana O-ring effect. Otherwise, if you sneak it in, it's a permanent, it's gone. Bye, see you later. We're also playing Void Rend, a non-counterable destroy target non-land permanent. This is going to be our catch-all to get rid of artifacts or enchantments that are kind of stopping us or accelerating our opponents too far. Deadly Rollick, this is one of the more expensive cards. I typically don't add these to these decks when I share them with you, and it's usually in my upgrade section. However, I felt this deck really needed that extra punch. Moonstare Specialist, 4 mana 2/2 with ninjutsu, 2 of anything in a blue. When it enters, return up to 1 target creature to its owner's hand. So again, another one of those shinobis. And Throat Slitter, when it deals combat damage to a player, destroy target non-black creature that player controls. We do run a couple of token effects in this deck as well to kind of help us shore up the board. This is Thousand Face Shadow for a blue 1/1 ninjutsu, 2 of anything, double blue, flying. When it enters the battlefield from your hand, if it's attacking, create a token that's a copy of another target attacking creature. Token enters the battlefield tapped and attacking. Dark Leo and Shredder. White black as well as a sneak ability for white black. It's a 1/3. Attacking ninjas have Death Strike or Death Touch. Cool. And when it deals combat damage to a player, create a 1/1 black ninja creature token. Then if you control 5 or more ninjas, that player loses half their life rounded up. This is going to be a great way for us to try and finish out the games. As well as Miss Syndicate Naga. 2 of anything in a blue, same cost for the ninjutsu. When it deals combat damage to a player, create a token copy of the syndicate itself. So this thing can get out of hand. Outside of that, we do have a couple of recursion things here I just want to touch on quick before we get to the upgrades. We are running Karai, Future of the Foot, 1 of anything white black, 3/3 sneak, 2 of anything white black. When it deals combat damage to a player, return target creature from your graveyard to your hand. If your sneak cost was paid this turn, instead return that card to the battlefield. Great ability there for us getting back our ninjas that have died. Ninja Teen, this card is absolutely ridiculous. Whenever a creature you control leaves the battlefield, each opponent loses 1 life. Cool, that's kind of the whole theme of what we're doing here. Creatures you control get +1/+0 and have menace, and then level 3, creature cards in your graveyard have sneak. So you can sneak in your ninjas from the graveyard, which is utterly ridiculous. It is so stupidly powerful. This card, I think it's very underrated. And then lastly, we are running Ink Eyes, Servant of the Oni. 6 mana, 5/4 ninjutsu. It's 3 in double black. When it deals combat damage to a player, you may put target creature card from that player's graveyard into play under your control, and it has regenerate. So that is the basis of our ninja deck. Remember, all of our ninjas with those ETB abilities, while Splinter in play, does double trigger. So this is going to allow us to just incrementally gain advantage over the course of the game. I'm running a bit higher on the land count simply because this is more of a control style deck that does kind of ball out of control and get in there really quickly. Let's look at some of the upgrades that we're running, some of the more expensive cards that I typically like to showcase at the end here. We are running Otawara Soaring City. I don't think this card needs much of an explanation. Channel abilities are insanely powerful, as well as the fact that it's a land, definitely worth a pickup or adding to this deck if you have them. Shizu's Death Storehouse. Again, it's a great land for this style of deck because you can give target legendary creature fear until end of turn. This would allow us to get something in and then, bounce it back with a sneak ability or something like that. Great a card there. Cyclonic Rift, just another one-sided board wipe. Doesn't need much explanation, but I feel that would be a great inclusion if you want to take this deck to the next level. Super Shredder, this is one that I originally had in the sideboard when building this because of the price point. It's still quite expensive, and I think it would do a great work in this. 1 of anything and a black for a 1/1 menace. Whenever another permanent leaves the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on Super Shredder. This includes your ninjutsu and sneak abilities, so this is really going to get big really fast. Fierce Guardianship doesn't require a whole lot of explanation, just a simple free counterspell and protection while your commander's in play. Great card. Same thing with Teferi's Protection or T-Pro here. 2 of anything in a white until end of your next turn. Life total can't change, and you gain protection from everything. All permanents you control phase out, and then you exile it. Just a great way for us to keep ourselves alive and going. And then lastly, Roaming Throne. What's better than triggering having Splinter trigger all of your ninja's abilities a second time? Having Roaming Throne doing it as well. 4 mana, 4/4 with Ward 2. As it enters the battlefield, choose a creature type. Roaming Throne is the chosen type, so we're going to choose ninjas, obviously. And then if a trigger ability or another creature you control of the chosen type triggers, it triggers an additional time. So that plus Splinter means all of our ninjas trigger 3 times. Good day, good night, everything is gonna turn up Millhouse. So with that, I do want to thank you all for tuning in this week for Commander Corner. If you haven't yet, please give our Spell Table Showdown video a watch. That's a really fun game. We started our Pre-Con League. This week we wrapped up our second week of games, so look forward to that video posting here in the Wednesday slot. As always, you can find me in the Jungle Games Entertainment Discord. I'm fairly active there. Feel free to pop in, recommend a commander deck for me. Send me a commander deck. I'll feature it on the show. Or even just chit-chat with me and talk about different Magic topics that interest you. Deck list will also be in the description, so please give that a look if you'd like a further in-depth guide or view of the cards that are here. And as always, like, comment, subscribe. Engagement is the best way to grow the channel, and I do appreciate all of you who already have, and your support means the world to me. With that, though, I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your weekend, and until next time, my name is Rob. I like to play games, and we'll see you all very soon. Take care, everybody.